my channel. My name is Maddie Henderson and I do motherhood and lifestyle content. So I'm a new mom of two. I have an 18-month-old girl named Nora and a 3-month-old son named Sam. If you want to see my newborn essential video from my first pregnancy, which I highly recommend, I still use all those things, I will put a link right here and in the description box. But today I'm going to talk about my second time around newborn essentials. It's a little bit different of a situation. My son is still in the hospital. He is in a specialized intensive care unit. If you want to see his full diagnosis, I'll leave his playlist below explaining his whole situation. So this is more of a NICU edition of newborn essentials, but honestly, it can be for anybody as well. So my son is 3 months old. He has been in the hospital that long and he's going to continue to be in the hospital for a few months, but I just kind of wanted to do some essentials that we found really helpful for the hospital and his NICU stay, as well as a few things that we're going to be using when he comes home that are going to be essentials as well. Without further ado, let's get right into it. So for the first few items, I'm actually going to share some items that we would find essential at home that we're gonna really use a lot whenever we bring him home. Number one is a bassinet. Our favorite bassinet is the Meek and Mickey. We used this with Nora and absolutely loved it. I tried the Halo bassinet at first. We were able to borrow that from a friend with my firstborn and we just did not love it. We really liked the Meek and Mickey and we'll be using it again whenever Sam comes home because he'll be in our room actually a lot longer than Nora was in our room. So that is a huge essential. Okay, so number two for an item that we have at home ready for whenever he comes home is the Medify Air Purifier. I want to take a few minutes to talk about this product because we love it. We find it so helpful for our family now and especially when Sam comes home. Air purifiers are a healthy living essential that is often overlooked. Indoor air can be 2 to 5 times more polluted than outdoor air and puts us at risk for serious health problems. For my first child, I did not get an air purifier and that was something that I really wanted, but I never actually purchased. But the reason why I want to use an air purifier for my family is I want to be rest assured that the air that we are breathing is clean, and not only for my son who is medically complex. Whenever we bring him home, we want to be sure that he's breathing in the cleanest air possible because he does have some serious issues with his lungs. Having clean air is really essential for him, but also for my husband and my daughter. They struggle with seasonal allergies and this is supposed to be something that is truly helpful. It traps and filters pollen, dust, mold, bacteria, insecticide, even pet dander, and so much more. I have the MA25 model and it cleans up to 500 square feet in 30 minutes. It's small, easy to move. It has a timer for up to 8 hours. It also has 3 fan speeds, a child lock, which is perfect for us because my little girl is so busy and gets into everything. So this is something that I know that I can just turn on and I know she won't have to get into it. Medify Air's True HEPA H13 filter removes 99.9% of particles down to 0.1 microns, which if you don't know what all that means, that's 20 times smaller than a grain of table salt. That is insane. So it cleans 99.9% of the particles in your air. So recently we just moved into this apartment and we actually have it in our daughter's nursery. We've already been using it for the past few months and we can tell a huge difference. Whenever we first moved in here, it smelled very smoky, like someone probably had smoked in it before us. As soon as we started using that, the smell completely went away. And my daughter has serious allergies, and when we moved in here, she was still struggling with them. And since we've been using that, her allergies have been so much better. We've already seen a difference. Medify Air was kind enough to send me a coupon code for you guys, so I actually have a code that will give you 15% off on your purchase if you just put in Maddie15 at checkout. I think so many families overlook the importance of clean air for their newborns and their babies, and I think this is something that you should definitely put on your registry or really look at investing whenever you're looking for new items for your baby. You like it? Okay, now let's get into the items that he uses at the hospital in the NICU. He uses a Boppy and a Snuggle Me. as well as I have covers for both of those. So this kind of goes together. This is like a lounger category, I guess. I love the Boppy. I breastfed with Nora in it. I'm currently not breastfeeding right now with Sam, but he's able to use that and lounge in it. In his crib at the hospital, it gives him a lot more chance to have tummy time because they like him to be elevated. Because of his respiratory situation, it allows him to breathe a lot better. We use the Boppy a lot of different ways and we really like it. So I also have Boppy covers, and I have this kind I got from Amazon. I think they're super cute. They're gender neutral. Another thing is the Snuggle Me. We haven't quite used it in the hospital, but I know we'll be using it in the next few weeks now that he's getting bigger and he's able to get some of the tubes out of his mouth. But I know that's something as well that when he comes home we'll still be using. The Snuggle Me is such a good lounger. I think it is way better than the DockATot. The DockATot is kind of just flat on the bottom. The Snuggle Me is like a little hammock almost for your babies. I guess, what is this, number 4? I'm gonna lose track of the numbers. Okay, so number 4 is Swaddles and blankets. Oh my goodness. This is probably the most used item that we use in the NICU. He doesn't wear clothes right now. He has too many leads and too many things attached to him to where he is not wearing clothes at the moment. So he literally wears a diaper and a swaddle. And muslin swaddles are where it's at. My boy is sweaty. He is so sweaty, and so having the thicker blankets aren't the best for him. Now we might put a thicker blanket on the bottom, like over his crib, to kind of give him like a sheet, and then we put a swaddle out to where he can be wrapped up in it or just like lay on it. So swaddles are huge. That's like his clothes right now, and so we have a good bit of swaddles in the hospital, and I'm glad because they go through 2 to 4 swaddles like a day in the hospital just to keep him clean, and if they get liquid or blood or any kind of thing on it, they have to switch up all the sheets. So I definitely keep a good bit of swaddles and blankets at the hospital. Number 5, socks and hats. So like I said, my boy is super sweaty, but sometimes his little toes get really cold since he's not wearing like a sleeper or anything. So I do have a lot of pairs of socks, but they also just use those as like mittens so he doesn't like try to grab and pull his tubes out. We also have hats. He is warmer, so like I said, he doesn't wear hats all the time, but in the very beginning I found hats very useful and he used them almost every single day. So I think socks and hats are a good thing to have on hand. Number 6 is a diaper bag. Everybody needs a diaper bag for their baby, and I'm already using Sam's in the hospital. That's what I take in and out to the hospital to bring anything that I'm gonna do while he's maybe napping, or maybe to bring some of his fresh blankets. I don't know, it makes me feel like I'm still able to have some of that newborn time, and I'm still like his mom because I'm carrying his diaper bag around. I don't know, that is just how I feel, and that kind of makes me feel really good, but also it's useful because obviously I need a bag to take into the hospital. Can't wait to actually take him on trips outside of the hospital, just like to go to the park or whatever. I'm just really excited to use it to actually go out with my baby. So, but I know that our diaper bag, we've already gotten a lot of use out of it, and so that is for sure an essential. Okay, so number 7 is a sound machine. So the hospital did provide us with a few different sound machines in the room, and so we use those periodically, but I know we're gonna purchase another sound machine for when he comes home and is in our room, so that we'll have a sound machine and we won't have to take Nora's sound machine out of her room. I think everybody needs a portable one and then one for their room as well, but he finds a lot of comfort in having the sound machine. Okay, number 8 is a vibrating toy. This may sound really funny, but Sam loves getting patted. Whether it's on his bum or his back or his arm, he loves for someone to just pat him constantly all the time. And so obviously that's really hard for the nurses to just stand there and pat him all day long. We ended up getting this hedgehog vibrator. It has like music to it as well. You can do music or just the vibrating, or vibrating and music. So we pretty much just keep it on the vibrating setting, and you just put it, lean it up against him, and I think it goes for 5 to 10 minutes, but that's just enough time to get him to go to sleep. So we really like this thing. He loves his hedgehog. It is the cutest thing ever, and I just love it when he gets all snuggled and he's got his little hedgehog right next to him. That has been a huge essential for us in the hospital, especially whenever I'm not there and able to do that for him. I feel like that does give him some reassurance and some comfort by having something just like patting on him or vibrating against him. Number 9, sensory cards and hanging toys. They don't move him very much because he's more on the unstable side, so they try to limit how much he's actually sitting up and doing different things like that right now with his tubes all in his mouth. Because of that, we like to give him different things to look at so that it kind of changes the scene, so he's able to enjoy something else to look at besides just looking out the window and at the ceiling of the hospital. And the hospital actually provided these really cool signs that you can put on the surrounding part of the crib. It's actually different contrast cards, and we found them really useful. Sam loves them, and it makes me feel like he's got something else to look at, and it's kind of a change of scenery for him. As well as the cards, he also has these hanging toys that some of them we brought in, some of them the hospital gave us, but they every room has like the operating like light thing that they can move around. I don't know how to explain it. It's like this light, and you can pull it down, and it has these little handles on it, and you can hang your hanging toys on there. So he has this red circle that has like black and white stripes on it as well. He loves that thing. He also has this butterfly, and then he also has a sloth that I brought in the other day that has like a really cute face on it, and he loves to look at that. That's something that he loves so much. He will stare at it for so long, and then if you move it just a little bit, he gets really upset and starts looking around like, where's my toy, where's my toy? So anyways, he loves his toys, and that makes me happy that he finds some joy in that. Okay, I lost what number I'm on, but the next one is nail clippers and filers. Sammy boy, he likes to keep his hands in, so we have a really hard time clipping his nails and trimming them because he just stays so tight. He constantly has his hands like this. Physical therapy has come in and slowly worked on opening up his hands, so since we've been able to do that, I have an electric nail file that sometimes if he's not in the best of moods and we just need to do it really quick, I'll do the electric nail file, especially when he was younger and I was a little nervous to use the actual clippers. We used this. That was super handy. Then I also just got a regular pair of clippers. I was gonna get baby ones, but then I sent Chip to the store and he couldn't find the baby ones, so he just got a regular pair. Those work great too. You just need something, clip the tip of it and peel it off. Being honest, I bit Nora's nails off. That's how I did it with her, but because my son's in the hospital, they obviously don't want me sticking his fingers in my mouth, you know. It's not sanitary for them. So anyways, I'm not doing that. I'm just going to use the nail clipper. Okay, so one of the last items is a passy. So Sam has gone back and forth with a passy on whether he likes it or not. When he's been intubated, which just means like he's got this tube that goes down his throat and in his nose, he's not as into the passy, obviously, because he has other things in his mouth. I want to give him positive experiences with things that are going in his mouth and not so much negative things. But so I also don't want to push it on him. So he goes back and forth between liking the passy or not. When he's intubated and has the tube in his mouth, he prefers the Philips little hospital passy, and they actually give him the creamy ones because it's a smaller nipple and it's not so much in his mouth with the tube. So he likes these when he's intubated, and then when he's extubated, he likes the bibs pacifiers because they don't shoot right out when he's sucking on them. He really likes the bulb on the end. So I like having a few different options, and it just kind of depends on whether he's intubated or not at the moment and kind of what he's feeling. But I do like having those options at the hospital. Something else that I didn't put on the list but I just thought of is a baby hairbrush. We found out this week how much Sam likes his hairbrush. If you brush his hair, he will immediately fall asleep. It is crazy. I really like just the simple one that we got off Amazon. We used it for Nora, and I love it for Sam too. It's so soft and it's really soothing to him, and it's just super sweet. So that I found really helpful as well. So those are all of my newborn essentials for our baby who is in the NICU. Of course, I would have more if he was home with us, but it's just a little bit different of a situation right now. But anyways, thank you so much for coming to my channel. I appreciate you clicking on this video, and I hope you enjoyed it. If you want to continue following along in Sam's journey and how he's doing in the hospital, I have a whole playlist that has gone through our whole journey, and I'm going to continue to film even through discharging from the hospital and bringing him home. I feel like it's been one of the most emotional roller coasters I've ever been on. But I want to share that with other families that are going through the same situation. I would love it if you subscribed and became a part of this community. I guess we'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.